All right, everyone. Before we get started today, we'd just like to acknowledge that we are on the lands of the traditional lands of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to elders, past, present, and emerging, and we acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's imagination, their spirit, and their rich tradition in storytelling, which is an inspiration to all Australians. And now, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming to the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Put your hands together, make some noise for the cast of Dice Paper Roll Live! All right. Fade down. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Just at the top of the show as well, we'd like to introduce a special guest as well. We've got Lauren Bock joining us today.
Hello, everyone. Hi. How are we doing?
Now, we'll introduce all the rest of us ourselves in a moment and our characters, but make a bit of noise. Who plays D&D? Who has some idea how D&D goes? Great. Make a bit of noise if you've got no freaking idea. Yeah, a couple of people. Great. More than usual, actually. Look, just so you're not too lost at sea today, we do a very quick description. Essentially, it's improvised and collaborative storytelling. The four of us each play a different character. And then Greg over here is our dungeon master. He is going to be narrating the story and putting us in a certain situation. We tell him what we want to do. He decides if we have to roll these dice. It's called a D20, so numbers 1 to 20 on it. And they determine our success or our failure. High numbers are good, low numbers not so good. So that is the basics of it. We do also require you as our audience to help us out with sound effects because, you know, we're busy being hilarious and everything and being nerdy. Well, yeah, okay, we're lazy.
We're the laziest.
So, look, anytime you feel like you can contribute a bit of ambience to what we're doing up here, feel free to jump on in with that. But to warm you up, let's give you a nice, easy, how about a marketplace? A busy marketplace in a medieval setting.
Rabble. 6 eggs.
Very good.
That's too expensive. There must be more to this provincial life.
Excellent. Bit of a delayed marketplace there, but we got there. Emil?
A vampire's picnic.
Oh, the sun! Oh, God!
That was just an excuse for me to do that.
How about a busy Western saloon? Mood scooting.
That was a
Very
spittoon.
nice.
It was a spittoon.
Is that what that was, Lauren?
Yeah, that was what it was.
Boom, ding.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, right. Show me up. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
We're warmed up, ready to go, I think. So, look, folks, my name's Ben. I play a character named Snatch, and he is a halfling rogue. If you don't know what a halfling is, they're short of stature, as these guys often like to remind me.
Short of personality.
Yep, just like the hobbits in Lord of the Rings. He is a rogue. He's got a deep and abiding love for food and stealing other people's shit. He's also a gunslinger and assassin. He's figured out how to use firearms, which hopefully will be handy in today's adventure. That's Snatch.
My name is Emil. I play Brakai, the Goliath barbarian. He's 7 foot tall. He's muscly. He looks like this on my shirt. Yeah, that's him. He wields a greatsword, which may or may not come in handy, and sometimes he's been known to turn into a wolf, a werewolf. So be aware of that fact. Thank you.
I'm Dan. I play Thandor, the human fighter and cleric of Tempus, and he's human. He wears plate mail and he wields a glaive. He loves his god, and I've got no other funny kind of things other than my voice. About it.
My name is Lauren. I play a dragon, a half dragon. Yep, sure, that one. It's called Florence. She's a tall drink of water. She's completely sort of silvery coloured scales from head to toe. She's pretty much completely naked apart from a satchel of wonder that she keeps on the side. Natural 20s in the front. Just a good time gal.
Hi, everybody. My name's Greg. I play Aelan, Aeon. He's an Asamar sorcerer of Helm. He's a charismatic spellcaster. He'll be taking a little bit of a backseat today. He's half angelic, humanoid with long blonde locks, and he casts spells just through his sheer force of charisma, and he worships the god Helm, who's a god of protection. But now that you've had that rich introduction in a fantasy setting, let's change all that, because today we will be in the At the Movies theme. We'll be doing a Western film. So. Excellent.
And there's the tumbleweed.
Yes.
Won't be the first one of those we hear tonight.
It will not. So yeah, any Western sounds you want to add in throughout the show, please feel free. Let's get into it. Ooh. A tumbleweed skips along. Shit. There it is.
Not for the first time tonight, I've jumped the gun.
A tumbleweed skips along an endless expanse of plains, past craggy spires of rock silhouetted against a crystal blue sky. It rolls along past huge mesa formations through the shadow they cast and back into the burning sun. Mountains shimmer into view in the distance as the tumbleweed rolls along, driven by the hot plains wind. The mountains grow clearer, soaring into the sky like a giant snow-capped wall. The dry grass gives way to shoots of green as the tumbleweed crests a hill into a fertile valley. A meandering, rushing river rolls through the center of this valley, and the mountains throw a cooling shade that allows the green grass to grow. But in those pristine mountains, there is a gaping maw of a mine that rips apart the natural beauty of their face. Black smoke and smog spills from this entrance, and a harsh steel engines whir and clunk, shattering the peaceful calm over the valley. Black sludge oozes from the mine entrance, spilling into the river below. It settles on the river's surface, refracting the light as it flows down into the fields below. It flows along the river's surface, down past a small town in the center of the valley. The tumbleweed rolls down the dirt road, past dying fields of wheat towards a lovely homestead. And as the setting sun casts a sick light through the smog, the tumbleweed bumps into the wooden structure.
What does that sound like?
Ow!
It's a sentient door.
It's a sentient cottage. Roll for initiative. No. In front of the cottage, a young family, a man, woman, and a small child huddle together and look sadly and forlornly over their dead fields. And as night begins to fall, a posse of black cloak-clad men bearing torches ride down from the mine's entrance. The thundering of their horses' hooves warns of their approach. What does that sound like?
My question is from the viewer's point of view. If they're all clad in black cloaks, how do we know that they're men?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just an assumption. It's a pretty,
Big dick energy. Black cloaks will do that.
Yeah, they've got it in spades.
Feel sorry for the horses.
They
The
just
horses
add.
have got it too.
All except one. No.
The donkey. As the posse ride down towards the hut, the woman turns to the child. Hide yourself, little Billy, and don't come out no matter what. Tears roll down her eyes and roll down her cheeks and well in her eyes as the little boy runs and hides under the cottage. A well-dressed man rides at the head of the rough gang, and as they gallop up, he wheels his horse in a spray of dust. Time has come to pay the debt, Earp. Please, Mr. P, you know it's been a bad season. I just need some more time. You know the price, Earp. This land is mine now. I just wanted to do that voice the whole time. Mr. P, no, you can't take it. This land is all we got. As Earp strides forward, standing up to the posse, there's a crack that fills the air and a flash of light and gun smoke. And suddenly, the brave Mr. Earp collapses onto the ground. A scream rips the air. as Mrs. Earp rushes forward and crouches over her fallen husband. The horses wheel around, and one of the henchmen strikes out with a lasso that binds Mrs. Earp, and he wraps her up and throws her over the horse as Mr. Earp lies bleeding in the dust. Their leader, Barty P, wheels his horse and rides back to the mine, and as he does, he shouts back to his men, "Burn it all." The posse wheel their horses, their torches lighting the cabin and the fields around, and all is engulfed in flame, black, acrid smoke raising into the sky. The flames light the night, and you can see the silhouette of little Billy running off into the distance, clutching a satchel, tears streaming down his face. A hot wind picks up, fanning the flames, spreading the fire, and blowing the lonely tumbleweed back up the road.
It didn't burn?
No, it got away.
Yes.
Yeah. This
I was rooting for the tumbleweed.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
I'm
what.
really emotionally attached to
We've
it.
got our hero.
Fuck Billy and Mrs. Earp. All about that tea-weed. Yeah.
Yeah, tea-weed. The tumbleweed rolls back up the hill.
Was it 4:20 at the time?
Yeah. Tea-weed. Mr. Tea-weed rolls along. He rumbles along. Day after day, the sun rising and setting above, the night sky full of glimmering stars as it rolls back and along all the way to the dry plains and the mesa, and it rolls up to a ridge where it bashes into the feet of Brakai.
Ow! I'm allergic to tumbleweed! God damn it! He kicks it and destroys it.
No. Oh, shit.
There goes the bad guy.
Yeah, there goes the rest of the story.
Can I roll to attack? Or?
Yes.
Great. Oh, it's an 8.
The tumbleweed climbs up you and covers you in slashes with its thorns and escapes off into the distance, possibly to be seen again. Yeah! That's what you get. So we find our heroes, the Tide Five, astride horses. You've been hired to search out a criminal that's hiding in this frontiered area of the West. His name is Doc Vacation. He's a well-known gambler and a vicious murderer. And you've been told that he was last seen in the town of... Hang on, I've got this written down. In the town of Sarcophagus Rock. You've all been hired by the law, so you've all been given some equipment to guide you so you can survive in these harsh frontier lands. You all get hats and coats and horses.
Yeah.
And a kerchief is optional.
Oh.
Totally wearing a kerchief.
Yeah.
Brackai's wearing only kerchiefs. Leather kerchiefs, and plural. He's got them tied in strategic places and some unstrategic places. Yeah, that's
Nipple
what he's wearing.
kerchiefs. Wow. We went there early.
And boots, of course,
Right.
with big spurs.
Alan is usually dressed in like a long flowing robe, but this time he's got a long blue coat on, and instead of his usual flowing locks, it's tied up in a little bun and weird. And he flashes a set of cards. He's a magician, magic user. So what do the rest of the Type 5 look like in their Western garb?
Snatch is astride a donkey, he's got his little, like, the cowboy, like the cloak on. He's definitely got a kerchief, but he's got a really tall hat, top hat on, just to try and make it seem like he's taller than he is. He's got a couple of pistols and a rifle slung across his back, and he's got a mean look in his eye. No joke. It's just
Thandor's garbed entirely in white, so he's got like the white chaps and the white vest, and then a white cowboy hat, and then a black neckerchief just to like
Ooh, contrast,
you know,
yeah.
you know,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
It's not going to get dusty at all. Pristine.
Has anyone ever seen Christina Aguilera's Dirty video?
Yes.
But a dragon? And she's on a big grey mare, but she has got one of those tiny little whoosh pistols on the side there.
Derringer?
Right? Yeah, and a little bit of like the Rambo kind of style, yeah, but arseless chaps. Yep.
Naturally.
Tiny little bikini kind of thing, you know, that kind of thing. Ex-Tina down the side.
So you all carry a copy of the warrant for Doc Vacation's arrest, and you know that the town of Sarcophagus Rock is only half a day's ride ahead. Knowing that, you gallop ahead down the ridge, seeing the lay of the land in front of you and the town off in the distance ahead. And a plume of dust raises behind you as you ride 5 abreast into the outskirts of the town. It's a town of rickety buildings like a Western. And in the centre, there's a large saloon that dominates the crossroad, and it's a dusty pink colour, faded in the weather, and a pair of wooden swing doors greets you at the entrance, and a sign that says saloon. As you ride in, the townsfolk sitting on their porches or going about their business, there's a man making coffins off to the side, and a barber shaving somebody. What other tropes can I get in here? And as you ride in, they all stop what they're doing and turn to stare at you all, particularly those of you who are not human characters. And as you ride through, some of them spit to the side, not directly into the spit to the side, and look at you in disgust. And as you ride into the centre of the town,
I'm sensing some vibes. Some weird vibes.
Yeah, not good vibes.
I'm not picking up on anything. They seem really friendly.
Got to open your eyes, Thandor.
Oh.
These people are racist, I can tell already.
Well, that's a bit judgmental.
I don't know why.
They're just looking at you. We're
Western.
strangers in a town.
Yeah, but it's a Western.
I don't know why, but with this,
What's in with Westerns?
I don't know, sorry, yeah, I don't know, I just have a feeling.
Okay.
I'm much more inclined to take you seriously, Snatch. I have no idea why. Somehow you're exuding authority and
yes,
power.
far more
Yeah.
persuasive.
You got a haircut or?
Yeah, I did
Right,
just
okay,
say,
yeah,
yeah.
okay, looks
You
good.
like it?
Short back and sides, yeah, that's good.
Big on top.
What kind of people are the townspeople?
Humans.
Okay, right. Cool. Just,
Right, so I guess
so not like me, okay. Right.
My kind of people.
Yeah, I guess they're your kind of people, aren't they? Well, do you want to, can't you vouch for us in some sort of way? Be friendly to them, go on.
Yeah, go find
Say that
out.
we're nice.
I'll go up to the coffin maker.
Start with him, he seems friendly.
Yeah.
He steps up to you with a deadpan look, and he brings out his roll of measuring tape and just holds it up next to you.
Why are you doing that?
He measures you across the shoulders.
Are you fitting me for a suit? What's your deal, buddy?
I make coffins.
Oh, how'd you get into that business?
Well, I used to be a carpenter, but then I had my dreams ruined when people wouldn't accept my architectural designs.
Oh no, that's
It's a sad and long backstory.
Oh no.
Obviously richly filled out by the dungeon master before this game.
So, lots of people die here?
Yeah. Gunfights, cholera, tuberculosis, consumption.
So tell me, have you seen what was Doc?
Doc, long weekend.
Yeah, Doc Vacation. That's right.
I don't know nothing. And he steps back with a scared look on his face and shop's closed. And he slams the door in your face.
It's odd, it's only midday.
Yeah. I thought he was on the street.
So did I. He sort of just slams the coffin door. And
Pops into a coffin and just bam.
Closed on Easter, I suppose?
Maybe.
He's
a
God-fearing
holiday.
man, clearly.
All right. Well, okay. No luck there.
He's just in the coffin, we could probably...
I'm not. I promise I'm not in here. We can't see me if I can't see you.
but we can hear you, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't see me. Stop knocking. Is that you, Grim Reaper? Have you finally come to extract the toll?
Well, yeah, if you don't tell me where Doc Vacation is, I'll fucking kill you.
Oh, that's a good idea, yeah.
Intimidation, I hear it works.
Who's going to make
give
the
me
coffin?
give me an
though?
intimidation check.
All right. With all my charisma.
17!
Yes. He the coffin lid creaks open. All right. I don't mean no trouble, sir. I just worry for my life. This dark vacation is a real mean son of a bitch.
Well, where can we find this mean son of a bitch? And then you no longer have to fear for your life, unless I need.
Unless it kills you and all your weird ass looking friends.
Oi!
Oh, wait.
Hey, they're good people.
I have a very good rating on Uber, all right?
Uber.
Yes.
Oh, that's the
wagon sharing
Yeah,
service.
wagon
Yes,
share.
it's you. Yeah, wagon sharing. Yeah.
I never had a chance to use it myself. Just here making coffins, but he usually holed up in the saloon. He likes to gamble. I lost like a month's wages to him the other day. I swear he's cheating.
If he's a murdering son of a bitch, though, he probably, pays most of your wages anyway.
Well, yes, there has been some good business, I have to admit. It was a bump a month, hence why I could afford to gamble.
Well, he likes to keep the money in-house, I suppose. Well, it looks like the saloon's the place to go.
To the saloon.
Can I give you any more flags towards the saloon? The general. The
barber!
The barber is sharpening his cutthroat razor on a leather strap. We don't serve your kind here. We've all got a cold, so it's going to be deep all day. Yeah. Yeah, he's my brother.
Oh, yeah.
I was just about to say, you guys all look the same to me.
Yeah.
Gee, there is.
That's nice. That's nice and early.
I thought there might be racism in this adventure. Didn't realise it'd come from you, Snatch.
I'm disappointed, mate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do I just look the same as all of them too?
Not in your white outfit. You stand out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't serve your kind, and I don't serve lovers of your kind either.
Who's? I don't know what you're talking about. We haven't made love or anything. That never happened. We haven't been like around the campfire in a really dark, lonely night. It's been. Let's go.
You sweat an awful lot there, boy.
No.
Here, have a kerchief.
Brakai hands him one of his strategically placed kerchiefs.
Oh, God, no, please. We are a God-fearing town here. We don't need any of those rocket bits being exposed.
I mean, there's rocky bits being exposed over there.
Brakai points to the rocky outcrop.
It's sarcophagus rock, after all.
Yes, okay, you got me there. I got nothing. All right, get out of here. Get to the saloon. We've already wasted a good 20 minutes in this.
A good 20 minutes?
Well, I don't know. An above average 20 minutes.
To the saloon!
It seems the above average 5 have ridden into town. It's slightly more acceptable than average. You approach the saloon, and as you do, all of the townsfolk go into their houses and shut their doors and close their windows and close the curtains, because, as we all know,
Seriously,
in the
it's
West...
only like 1 o'clock. It must be like siesta or something. I don't get that at all. Everyone's disappeared.
As we know, in the West, curtains are the best defense against stray bullets. And you head up to the saloon. Who's going in?
Who's getting the first round, everybody?
Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like everyone's got a thing against you guys.
Plus, I left my
Your
wallet.
shout.
I left my wallet in my loincloth and couldn't fit it into my kerchiefs.
Yeah,
so,
you always say that.
sorry, guys. You might have to spot me for this one, but I'm good for it. Swear.
All right, I'll buy it, you freaking cheapskates. And Snatch kicks open the double doors and holds onto his hat and tries to avoid them as they come back.
Kick open the doors and step into the saloon, and the light streams in behind you into the darkened room. And
My spurs clink as I step in.
They do indeed. And
Yeah.
the whole bar stops. There's a honky-tonk going on the piano, which stops, just tinkles out, and weird. And everybody turns and looks at you. There's a few men playing cards around a table, and an old guy with a big white beard sits at the piano looking at you. And there's a gruff bartender with a real sweet curly moustache and a striped apron. They all just look at you. You can also see at the table, sitting on the other side of the poker table, is the familiar features of a thin-faced, pale man with a pencil moustache and a greasy fringe of black hair, which looks remarkably like the picture drawn on the warrant that each of you have in your pocket.
Snatch.
I'll have a beer, thanks, Snatch.
Yeah, all right. You go talk to him, and I walk up to the bar, my hat poking above the top, and the barman hears a voice from down below and says, barman, five beers, thanks, and a whiskey for me.
I'm going to have to ask you for ID, little man. Sorry, I have to ask. If you look under 25.
Snatch pulls out his pistol in a flurry and says, "How's this for ID, mate?"
Okay.
Could an 18-year-old do this? And I do the fancy gun twirl.
Okay, everybody roll perception checks for me.
Why, Greg?
Who? I don't know. So
Yeah, good. 4.
13.
5.
Awesome.
Me as well?
No, you're too busy flaring your gun. So Thandor, the other two are watching this amazing gunplay that Snatch is flicking his pistol
notes
around.
as I'm watching this.
Nice, very stylish.
I've only seen people under, maybe over 21 do that before.
Yeah, me too.
Certainly no
Yeah.
19-year-olds.
And Thandor, you're the only one that notices that the rest of the bar reach for their weapons and draw them and rest them on the table. And the whole bar, the piano player reaches under the keyboard, and pulls out a shotgun, which he rests on his knee. And all of the card players take out their guns and rest them on their arms on the table.
And
You keep on doing whatever the fuck you're doing because you're going to get us all killed.
Well,
Look at
as
the
I
gun
finish the
snatch.
flurry, I click a little button on the handle, and the handle of the pistol opens up, and there's my ID right in the bottom of it, with me smiling in it with the top hat on.
Oh, you're one of those
just-
halflings.
Yeah, what's wrong with
One
that?
of those half men.
Well, some people say that.
Half men, half Cameron Ling. Is that
What? I don't.
halfling?
Weird
football. Just a football deep cut for our D&D audience.
Okay, right, good.
In the
Good
middle of a
crossover.
western.
Good Venn diagram.
Sorry,
Right.
mate. Yeah.
Real niche.
It's always better when you
Just
explain
Real
it.
slim.
1 out of 58 bad. I don't serve your half kind, nor your freaky ass friends.
Oi!
Hey.
Thandor's just going to slowly back away from these guys over towards the pencil moustache guy.
The gamblers all sit around the table, and they've all still got their weapons out. And as you turn and walk towards the table, they all turn their guns to face you. And the pale-looking man has a toothpick which rolls around in his mouth. He raises an eyebrow at you.
Oh, can you believe that they're letting these kinds of people in here? Oh, jeez.
Oh, we thought you were with them, mister.
Oh no, I just so happened to walk in at the same time
Oh.
as them. It was just like, you know.
That's a terrible happenstance. I know I've been in some hairy situations myself. Why don't you join us at this here table?
I'd love to.
Can you do a persuasion check for me?
Yeah, sure, great. 11.
Yep, they buy it. They all put their guns away and sit you down. You sit yourself down at the table. Buy-in is $20.
It's 20 gold.
Yeah, gold dollars.
Gold. Okay, yep.
We call them dollars here. It's a thematic thing.
I'm in. Thandor throws down 20 gold on the table.
Okay, they deal you into the round of poker, and just because that sounds incredibly boring, let's roll some dice. Okay. What'd you get?
A 14.
I got 2 7s and a 1. You win a hand easily. You win the first hand and you pick up a big old pot because I know poker. And
I guess maybe if
you're the big blind something. And
you 5 dice. That kind of makes sense.
No.
No.
No. Okay.
And you win some good poker.
Okay. That's not working out how I wanted because I wanted to accuse him of cheating. But hey, you're a cheat.
That's a weird thing to say. I just clearly lost. I rolled a 1.
Thandor flips to the table and goes, "This guy's a cheat."
You're messing with the wrong man, weird white outfitted guy. Yeah, outfitted, all right. Was a long pause, I admit.
Rightio, weird penciled mustache. You're a cheat. This guy's a cheat, everyone.
That's it. I throw down on you, you yellow-bellied son of a bitch.
Well,
take this outside into the street.
I throw down on you. I fire my pistol. 13.
You whip out your pistol with lightning speed and just unload a bullet straight into his gut, and he staggers backward, slamming into a shelf full of bottles, which is weirdly placed not behind the bar, which shatter and fall down. And as you do that, the rest of the group, can you all make perception checks again for me?
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, I've been drinking from behind the bar with my head underneath and I've been going to the bar tap the entire time. 16.
1.
Yeah, I got a 3.
Oh.
Okay, just
Busy giving the barman the eagle eye. Yeah.
No one notices a gunshot.
I do.
Yeah. No, this is just to notice the action before the gunshot goes off. So everybody is only the piano man, Billy, in the corner, and the bartender. So I've got jokes all day. And let's see, you paid $20 for this. And Florence, you can see the action because you're drinking from the tap over the bar, and you can see all this going down as Brakai and Snatcher.
Brakai spotted a tumbleweed out the window. He's like glaring at it as it rolls down the street and misses the entire thing.
It's a tumbleweed wearing a bandana. I'm the hero. So Flo, you see the piano man Billy pull the shotgun out again, and you see the bartender reach under the bar for a weapon. What are you going to do?
I'd take one more real big swig of the tap and then go, "Not on my watch!" And I pull out my head and I pull out my teeny tiny little pistol and I fire at the piano man.
Awesome. Roll to hit for me.
Sing us a song. 18.
Boom!
He ain't singing no song.
Yeah, you spin the Dillinger out at top speed and crack a bullet straight across, and it thumps straight into the middle of the piano man's forehead, and he falls backward onto the piano with a clanking sound of keys and slumps down to the ground.
He's been our pianist for the longest time.
He's been our
Billy
what?
Joel joke.
Pianist. Right.
Not even 1 out of 50.
Hey, but Cameron Ling.
We'll always have Cameron Lee. As you do, you spin your gun to face the barman, and he steps back, raising his hands in the air. And you have successfully shot down the wanted criminal, Doc Vacation.
It was dead or alive on the thing, wasn't it?
Oh, shit.
better
Check
we
the-
just check.
yeah,
Pull it
just,
out. Get it out. I'm looking at
Have a
it.
look.
It is dead or alive.
Hey!
Yes.
There we go.
All right, winning.
Yikes.
And as you shoot down Doc Vacation, the rest of the gamblers rush out of the front of the tavern and run out into the street.
Yeah, tell your friends. What?
Don't tell your friends. Shit, that's not a good idea.
It's the sheriff here. Come out with your hands up.
Oh, fuck.
I think he's talking to you, Thandor.
Yeah.
All right,
Snatch is helping himself to those 5 beers and the shot of whiskey, just passing it out to you guys. Yeah, aren't you go? We'll enjoy these. Well,
I'm a hostage. I'm a hostage. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. And Thandor's going to slowly walk out.
You walk
Hands
out.
up.
Hands in the air, and the sheriff and 2 of his deputies are standing out the front. They've all got shotguns leveled at the door as you step out.
Oh, shit.
You That's weird. Who's holding you hostage?
Oh,
I'm real confused right now.
It's the other people inside.
Oh, those weird-looking people.
Yeah. And Thandor's gonna just slowly keep on walking towards the sheriff, right? And he's
Okay.
And he's just like, they're all fucked up. They killed some dude they killed the pianist.
Persuasion?
Way to throw us under the bus, mate.
Don't worry, man.
Under
I've
the
got a
tumbleweed.
plan.
Also, you've got
Under the wagon.
20!
Yes!
Suck on that!
All right, come on down, son. I'll keep you safe.
Oh, thank you.
I thought you
I'm
might
so-
be like a duly sworn warrant officer with a warrant from the law to arrest that man dead or alive, but it seems I was wrong.
Florence sees that
fuck.
happening and also comes out with her hands up going, I'm a hostage too!
That's right. We'll only release 2 more hostages. That's all, and then you can open fire.
Okay,
Well, hang on,
persuasion
wait, there's
checks,
3 of us.
please.
Oh, whoops.
I have a 2.
And
So I'm
persuasion
walking
from Brakai.
towards the sheriff as well. I try a delicate Southern Belle accent. Why, Sheriff, it's so good to see you today.
Brakai's got a roll of 4.
Y'all are rocky, scaly freaks. Keep your hands in the air.
Brakai's hands are in the air.
Meanwhile, in the saloon, Snatch downs his shot of whiskey and he walks over to Doc Vacation's corpse, and I'm going to like weekend at Bernie's it and come out the front door. Yeah, they got me.
Do you climb in through the bullet wound and like arms in his arms and
Jesus.
Doc Vacation puppet?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big old exit wound on the back.
Jesus Christ.
It was a hollow point, apparently. Gross. Yeah, sure.
What do I roll for
What
that?
do you roll for men puppetry?
Performance.
Yeah, performance. Definitely a
Performance.
performance.
Come on.
5 stars from the 8.
Oh, you weekend at Bernie's, that shit magically. The arms are flopping, but you come out and what is...
Don't you, Sheriff, don't you do anything to these people here, these fine-looking specimens, just because they don't look like you or me. They're perfect, upstanding people who filled out the warrant. That's right.
Oh, there's a warrant? Who's the warrant on?
It's on me. Oh, fucking, I'm fucking this up, guys.
Well, if one of y'all had a warrant, that'd get you out of trouble right
Thandor
now.
pulls out
That's
the warrant.
the whole
I pull
purpose
out
of
the
having a
warrant as well.
warrant. In
Florence
case I
has
didn't
got- we're all
make
brandishing, we're
that
pulling
perfectly
around.
clear. Oh, yes,
Got it
you've
right
got...
here, just right here. There's
Let me
right?
see that. But y'all haven't... You got him free and moving around in like a boneless...
I hand myself in. They convinced
Dead
me.
or alive?
Dead or
right? This is
alive.
dead
Alive.
and alive, huh?
Well, I guess... Fine, I'll go and get the bounty
Twice
for
the
you.
reward,
No, definitely
Okay.
not. I'll go and get the bounty from the sheriff's office. I'll be back in a few minutes. You can lower your guns, boys, and the deputies lower their guns, and they all head off back to the sheriff's office. And as you're waiting in the street to collect your reward, a little boy runs up and oh, bloody hell. His face is all smeared with soot, and there seems to be like oily residue in his ears, and he runs up clutching a satchel, and he's like, "Excuse me, sirs, could you all be, and lady, sorry, could you all be
I'm
of,
ambiguous, let's be honest.
could you all be of assistance to a little man like myself? I need savage gunslingers to help me.
Yeah, no worries. We're always happy to help a halfling.
I'm a human."
Oh, you're a boy? Oh, I just get so
It's a
confused.
little boy.
Wait, this is the first one we've met that doesn't mean, like, you know, racist.
Fuck off.
That's true.
Well, to survive out here, y'all must be real tough with all these nasty people. And I saw what you did to Doc Vacation all the way up to the puppet thing. That was gross. But I need the help of some savage gunslingers to help save my mama. And he bursts into tears. And the tears
boy.
track clean lines down his sooty cheeks.
And I puppet Doc Vacation's hand to wipe the tears away. Go, "It's all
the
right,
hand
boy."
reaches out, just slaps him in the face. My name is Little Bobby. Bobby Herb.
Well, Bobby, we're just about to collect our reward. Once we've got the money, we'll absolutely help you out with your mother problem.
Well, yes, you see, I can pay y'all. I've got some real valuable things in my satchel here. It's just that it's bad. Mr. Barty Petroleum and his gang, the Shell Gang, have been terrorizing. They took my papa's land and shot him dead.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I just thought, you might need a bit of narrative structure to get you through the second
We
half.
appreciate the exposition.
No, that's okay. That's my purpose.
Well, so what are you going to do now then that Snatch pops his head out of Doc
Oh,
Vacation?
God!
So
Please, no.
what are you
I'll
gonna-
never sleep again.
What are you going to do now then if that was your purpose?
Well, I'm
You've
going to
served it
wait
now.
for you to go and set my town free, and then I'm going to come in at the last minute and have a heartwarming ending. Yeah.
All right then, well that sounds like fun. What do you reckon, guys?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you took that hook real easy.
Yeah, do we want our money, though?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, we get the reward first.
Here you go.
Very
Here's
important.
the sheriff
thank
throws
you.
back in
Oh,
gold. And yeah, you slip back into your skin suit.
No, but then how are we gonna... We can't...
Here you
They're
go.
gonna
I thought
arrest
you
you.
might want it delivered in a basket with also some lotion for some reason. I don't. There you go. Okay.
Gross.
And here's your award: $500 gold reduce. And
Yes, mister, I can hire you for the fee of these valuable possessions that I have. It's all I have in the world. That's what this is worth to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you could stump up a little bit more, that'd be great.
You haven't even looked in the satchel.
Look, just looking at you, you're all dirty and covered in filth. I just don't think it's going to amount to enough, but...
I thought someone like you would know that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
I was just about to say that.
I thought you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, and I look nice, but I'm not, so...
Oh, I should have learned that lesson. I'm just 7 years old, sir.
Yeah, well, you're 7-year-old without enough cash.
you look in the satchel, I guess, and you notice there's no cash in there. There's just a wooden train set and some tin toy soldiers.
What? You didn't tell me there was a train! I'm in!
Well, you just have to head down to my town. It's only a few days' ride from here. It's the town of Deceased Tree.
It's a catchy name.
I know, yeah. We're not very good at naming towns in this here area. It's a tough business. But yeah, you just look out for that posse, the Shell posse, and Mr. Bartholomew P.
Are they at all connected with old mate Doc Vacation, or...?
Absolutely no connection at all. That was just like an introduction thing, so I would know you were good.
Oh, right.
Right,
Yeah, I
okay.
expected it to take like 5 minutes.
Derailed.
Florence is feeling particularly maternal for some reason. Something's really come up within her, and she really, really likes this little boy and wants to help him.
Well-
So she puts him onto the horse, onto a big grey mare.
Oh, thank you.
Come on up with me there, lad.
Oh, you want me to ride into danger with you? All right, then.
Yes. You'll make excellent fodder.
And you all ride off into the sunset, a plume of dust raising behind you.
Snatch still inside Doc Vacation.
Yes.
The sheriff's going to let me ride off as Doc Vacation.
We got him from here, Sheriff. Don't worry, we'll take him straight to jail.
Yep, we'll take him to the next county over.
It almost sounds like applause if you squint.
If you're squinting. That
coffin
sounds different when I squint.
There's a coffin maker looking forlornly at the corpse that's been taken away as well.
So close.
My only business. My only business. I had a gravelier voice. Yeah, you all ride off into the distance. The Snatcher's donkey on the end with the skin suit body flapping around, limbs flipping and flapping.
Just dragging along the ground.
On the donkey.
One
yeah.
foot falls off. Yeah, just... And you ride off into the sunset. And that's where we will take a quick interval. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
Awesome.
If you squint, that sounds like horses. Nothing like an 80s synth intro to a Western.
Oh, it would have been so good if we could have like changed it to a spaghetti Western version of it.
Like dueling banjos instead.
Yeah.
Emil, you're on that
Emil,
for
get
next
on
show.
Can you do it?
Come on, Max.
Great.
Go get my banjo.
Do it now. Do it now. No.
I don't have a banjo, so you can put those
I
furtive
can
glances away.
relax.
All right, thanks for staying. So we left the Type 5 riding off into the sunset, a plume of dust behind them, and Snatch wearing a skin suit. You ride off and make camp overnight, and little Billy Bob Earp, whatever his name is, tells you, Billy Bob Earp.
Billy the kid.
Billy the...
Hey?
He
Hey?
is a kid.
He's a kid.
Unintentionally did that one. Nice.
Hey.
Nice work, Greg.
Nice work, Greg.
He tells you more about his sob story about the Barty P and the Shell Gang who've been polluting the valley weird. And how they've driven the farmers off their land because their crops aren't making any money, and they've gathered up all the land and they keep putting oil derricks everywhere, and they're fracking terrible.
Brakai ignores most of this sob story and just plays with his fresh new train.
Oh, you're actually taking the train off the kid?
Shit, yeah.
Billy
That's the
Bob.
whole reason Brakai's on this adventure. It's a train.
Billy Bob keeps casting wistful glances at his old train set.
You made your bed, Billy Bob. You line it.
I guess it's a good lesson.
Guess you will have to make your own bed from now on anyway.
Brakai, no.
Oh, Jesus.
No. Jesus.
This is the show where our characters just turn out to be fucking assholes.
Yeah, right?
It is a Western.
Yeah.
Florence is making big signs that have "Stop a Barney" written on them.
Nice.
It's a thinker. I think.
About 30 seconds, everybody.
What's that? A narrative that has keys to real life. Wow.
So you ride off the next day as the sun comes up, and as you're travelling along, you see in the distance a large withered tree in the middle of the plains, and there's dust swirling all around it. And as you get closer, you can see there's a posse of black-coated cowboys, I guess, riding around, and there's two figures that are tied up on their horses, nooses around their necks, and the black-coated figures circle around them, firing their guns in the air. And you can see the two figures are trying to control their horses to stop them from bolting off and hanging them. The two figures on their horses, one is a very sleekly dressed looking gentleman with a bowler hat and a pencil moustache. And next to him is a kenku on the back of a feathered horse. A kenku is a bird creature. Yeah,
Cool,
a
great.
kenku is like a bird humanoid. And
Half bird, half Cameron Ling.
yes, it's a birdling. Yeah, I
He
hate
got the
it.
groan that time. That's
Yeah, I hated myself for that. I don't know who Cameron Ling is. Anyway, so you see that? What are you doing?
How far away was that? Sorry.
You're riding towards them, so you're approaching. You're only a few hundred yards away, fathoms.
Good.
Arm lengths. I don't blame.
Brakai draws the twin rifles that are tucked within his back kerchiefs, and with two arms outstretched tries to hit two of the cloaked figures riding around the circled, noosed gentleman.
Yeah, great. You ride up and your rifles akimbo. You start firing. Anyone else?
This is Brakai's first time ever firing a firearm, by the way, so I'm sure it'll go well, and it's very
A
easy.
rifle in each hand as well. That's got to be easy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know any better. His dice do, though. 7 and 11.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Hey, there you go.
As you ride up, you fire your two rifles. You're offhand, a little bit wavy, and the shot goes wide and sinks into the tree above the two figures that are on their horses, and the horses buck and rear. But the other shot flies straight and true and knocks one of the posse off their horse. So there's 5 of the posse members, and as he falls down, they wheel their horses and turn to face you as you approach, drawing their pistols and pointing them at you.
Thandor's going to rear up his horse, and then so that he's got like a bit more of a steady shot, and he's going to try and shoot one of the ropes on the bowler hat man.
Very nice. Go for it. I mean, racist, going for the human, but that's...
It's an 8.
You shoot and it whizzes past, just clipping the top of his ear. A little bit of blood spurts out.
Oh, sorry about that.
I thought you were here to help me.
We are. He's just not doing it right. And I take out my rifle and have a go.
Bold words, eh?
20!
The shot flies straight and true, and the rope snaps above his head, and the rope falls slack, and he gallops his horse away and around, and the posse starts shooting at you as well. Ooh. Oh.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh. The posse starts shooting, and they take down Brakai and Snatch's horse and donkey in a hail of fire. And they shout out, "Y'all don't know who y'all messing with. We're the Shell Gang." They're firing their guns.
We actually did know who we were messing with.
Yeah.
Oh, was it the emblem on the jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of came here to mess with you.
Yeah, it's kind of like a uniform, I guess.
Yeah.
Florence takes out her tiny little Dillinger and hands it to Bobby.
Bobby, tears streaming
Her maternal
down his
instinct
face.
has taken over completely. Now, my child, it is your time to fight. Get your revenge.
He does a sweet stand on the horse's saddle because he's
I hold
great
him
at horse
steady.
tricks, because I know about equestrian too. And with advantage because of vengeance, he gets a 20!
Yeah!
Little Bobby pops
Billy
one of
Bob!
the posse members right in the face, and the head explodes in a shower of gold.
Wait, what does that sound like, everyone? Yeah, there we
Yeah,
it
that's
sounds
not going to
gross.
traumatize a child.
A gleam of joy sparks in
Yes,
his...
feel it awaken you, child.
Yes. Okay, he's
Are
7.
we the bad guys?
He's 7.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are so the bad guys.
Again,
We've weaponized
Western.
a child.
I know.
I like to look past dichotomic kind of narrative versions of good and evil. I think it's complex.
Shades of grey. The gleam of joy in his eyes as he unloads the Dillinger, and the posse scatter, riding off into the distance. Y'all ain't heard the last of us. But there's a few horses, and the Kenku is still tied with a noose around his neck, and the Frenchman is still bound on his horse.
Brakai cuts the Kenku down.
Thank you.
It's all right.
My name is Squawk.
Ah,
I'm from the local Kenku tribes. Bioka.
reasonable.
This is my friend, Pierre Robichaux.
Pierre Robichaux.
Yes, Pierre Robichaux. Thank you for saving us.
Why did they have you tied up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't like the fact that he was friends with a Kenku. Squawk.
Right, so they were right about his being French, but they didn't like the fact that he was friends with you.
Well, it didn't help the situation.
Right, okay.
Oh, it looks like we owe you a life debt.
Well, I need a new station set. If you've got one of those in your back pocket, I will take that. I'm missing the controller.
I don't have a station set, but I've
red
got one of
caboose.
those water refilling things that go along with the thing that hangs. The thing that hangs out.
Brakai gleefully takes the water refilling station and tucks it into a kerchief.
There's quite a few bulging kerchiefs you've got there.
And my name is Pierre. Thank you for saving us.
Thanks for
this is
noticing.
the other accent I can do. What brings you motley crew out this way? It's very dangerous, don't you know?
Yes.
Just the BP and the Shell gang, the posse that's galloping away that way.
Bati Petroleum.
Yeah.
Yes, he is a very evil man. He's been polluting the valley at the end, which is very nice. Well, it was very nice until he polluted it, you know.
I thought you were talking about the polluting.
No, well, you know. If it was an atoll, I would be fine with it. But it's a little. That's a little 1993 topical humor.
Jacques Chirac.
Well,
All right, great. Well,
Yeah, well,
and it was
I
just
guess
straight
we're.
up. It was just straight up racism as to why they were stringing you up.
And yes, they said we were trespassing in their lands, and also they don't like, squawk here, and me because I'm French.
You know what I said before?
I guess that a lot.
Yeah. You know what I said before about the complex narrative? I think we're dicks, but they're definitely evil. I mean, Snatch is a bit evil. He's a bit
yeah,
racist,
but they're dressed in black, so they must be evil.
You're
Yes.
wearing a person. Think about it.
And I shrug Doc Vacations Holidays, and what of it? And his head falls off.
Oh my God. It's so gross, but kind of beautiful.
He's now just got that big hat for a head now.
Yeah.
You kept your hat on inside the body? That's amazing.
I rolled a 20. I'm very skillful.
Brakai picks up Doc's head and gives it to Bobby and goes,
There you go, buddy. Keepsake.
He clutches it to his chest. He looks a little manic now. Are you sure you are the good guys?
I really don't know anymore.
It's always, yes.
I'm conflicted.
Well, now that you mention it, I'm going to take your horse.
and Brakai jumps on his horse and pushes him off.
Well, I guess I owe you a debt, but I'll just take one of these other ones that they have laying around from the dead people.
What, the ones that we shot?
No, the dead people's ones.
Oh,
You
okay.
shot 2 people. There's 2 extra horses. Oh, but now you have to get on a full-size one.
That's all right. It's easy, and I hoist myself up
Give me an
in the skin
acrobatics.
suit. 6.
You can do it with advantage because it's one of your skills.
13.
You manage to jerkily yank the flesh suit, headless flesh suit up onto the body.
It's my finest moment.
It's kind of scary. You're like the headless horseman. It's
Is it?
another reference from a
Yeah.
different genre.
Okay.
Well, I guess, what are you doing here anyway? We were just, passing through.
Yeah, well, I think we should probably be doing that too.
Yeah, we're going to avenge our
We're
old,
avenging things at the
this
moment.
young
yeah.
child's family,
This is
the one
Billy.
that we're really corrupting and fucking up.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me the entire backstory. They tell the entire backstory. Oh, that is amazing. It stirs the cockles of my heart.
Ah, me too.
We will join you on your mission, and then we will be the above average 7.
Gonna need a horse, though.
And Brakai rides away.
Well, let us. You all ride off towards deceased tree together. Now the above average 7 off into the sunset, and you
Catchy.
I know.
you rest another night before. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, horses.
Yes.
Keep that going.
For a while, I was like, is this whole place creaking? Is it-
So, ooh. You can see the Kenku's feathered horse seems to its hooves don't seem to touch the ground. It just seems to float a little bit above. It's a beautiful beast that the Kenku rides, and you notice the Kenku rides without a saddle as well as you travel on into the distance.
Flo is very jealous of this. You sure it's not chafing at all? Or
No. Oh, what voice is that? No, I'm not French.
the squawky one?
Yes, I know. You can get used to it. Lots of practice.
Well, I am wearing arseless chaps.
Also, I
Let's
have a
remember that.
cloaca, so
Oh,
yeah,
right.
less.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Although
right.
after
I
riding,
have 6 of them.
wow.
I'm just trying to boast. I've only got 3.
All right, show off.
Weird flex, but okay. Yeah.
So you ride off into the sunset, the 7 of you, and you rest the night again. And in the morning, you crest the hill that our hero Tumbleweed once did, and you see the valley laid out before you. There's the burnt-out husks of a number of homesteads that surround what looks like a deserted town. And at the end of the valley, the mine belches soot and smoke and oil into the air and water around it, and you can see the fucking second time. You can see the river shimmers with the oily surface and rainbows gross rainbows shimmer across it.
This is nothing like the brochure. This place is fucked.
Flo sees the water and goes, "Oh, I'm so thirsty. Oh, I just need some water." And she belts towards and just throws herself in the river and starts gulping down the water. Refreshing, finally.
Great. Could you give me a constitution save, please?
Okay.
How does that magic rainbow water taste, Flo?
It tastes a 5.
Is it worse than number 1 and number 2?
You gulp down your fill, and then as you step out of the water, you just vomit uncontrollably, a gush of this black, oily water showering
I
out.
don't remember having carrots. Rainbow carrots.
That's your stomach lining.
I have 6 of them. It's fine.
Again, weird flex. So you ride into the valley, and I'm guessing you don't refill your water bottles after that.
Nope.
But you ride up to the town, and as you reach the outskirts, you hear the wind rustle through the town, and the creak of... just like that. And the creak of doors as they sway and clang in the wind.
Is that your family?
Thanks, Mum. This town's ominous.
Yeah. Not enjoying this vibe.
Looks like they've sent everyone to the mines now. It's me again, Billy Bob. I'm 7.
Still.
When he talks to you, he uses
Much more in mental age.
he uses the head as a puppet.
Oh,
And
my.
Looks like they sent everyone out of town. Yes. That's right, you daddy.
I pat him on the head and say, "You're a quick learner, mate. You're going to do well." The
Grew up so
corpse
fast.
head.
That's right, Doc. Vacation. I'm going to leave that one alone. It looks like they've cleared out the town. They must have them all shackled in the mine. It's very well defended. You have to be careful. There's a drawbridge over the river to enter. It's very dangerous. I didn't tell you about that because I thought you might bail, but seems like a good time to mention it.
Right. Is there any other secret ways in?
Absolutely not. This is a linear story. It's a live show. But you must prepare yourself for a great battle.
This town's near the railroad. Is that right?
Oh, I see. There's another joke.
Good.
Yeah. Well, which way to the mines,
for all
Billy?
the D&D fans
Yeah.
out there.
It's at where all the smoke's coming from.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, all the smoke and smog.
And as he says that, the smog blows over the town and it swirls around you, obscuring the buildings all around.
I notice it now.
There it is.
Yep, there it is.
Very narratively convenient.
Yep.
Tastes like death.
Smells like lavender.
There you go.
Strange contrast, isn't it? Yeah.
Odd.
I'm going to come with you and avenge my father and free my mother.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't try and stop me.
Okay, sweet.
You're pretty handy with that, Dillinger.
I know, you're doing pretty well,
don't
actually.
try and stop me.
Oh, no, we've really got to do something about this kid. He's
Yeah,
fucking weird.
It's going to be good for me.
Yeah, let him go first. There's a
Just
distraction or
some-
something
Oh, yeah.
over the drawbridge.
Said it'd be good fodder. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a daycare centre around here somewhere.
I really, yes and everything, but like, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you all?
You can say no, but
Billy, maybe
No,
you
but
should
it's-
stay here. Maybe you should stay. This is going to be a very dangerous mission. I
Oh,
think we'll just keep you here for now, nice and safe in this completely abandoned town.
okay, well, I'll just stay here on my own. Should I keep this head with me?
Yeah, you can play with
I
the
think that's
severed
all right.
head.
Play with the
Yay!
head. Just
And
play
he
with your head,
starts
darling.
kicking it up and down the street
Oh, that's very nice.
as you ride off towards the mine.
Wait, guys, before you go, I just need to run inside and get something real quick.
Brakai runs into one of the houses, and then you hear a bang crash, and then he comes out a few moments later with a slight bulge underneath several of his front kerchiefs.
Yeah, you come running out of the toy shop.
No,
Which shop?
just a house.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I look forward to finding out what that is. Oh.
I look forward to thinking about what that is.
So you all ride through the town and up the valley, and you can see the mine as you approach. And as you ride up 7 abreast, the drawbridge begins to draw up, and you can see the flash of gun muzzles in the sunlight in positions around the mine entrance. And so how are you approaching?
Mine inspectors! We're the mine inspectors! Just here to check to make sure that everything's tip-top and in perfect and working order.
You can see there's a number of abandoned mine carts out the front, half full of coal and barrels of oil, I guess, I don't know. As
That's 3312 right there. That's a code violation. Mark that one down.
Okay, give me a
I've
persuasion
got a
check.
clipboard marking as much as I possibly can, but I'm just writing down Brakai is a
17.
dickhead.
Not bad for a
Over
dickhead.
and over again. With a big picture as well.
Well, it's real strange that man inspector's riding Johnny's horse, who we found out was killed by a group of 5 plus 2 before. But I am convinced that he is a mine inspector. Show me your credentials, sir.
I don't have time for this shit.
Brakai whips out his guns, his rifles, and spins them around in a sweet trick, and then pops the side of it, and his credentials flop down.
Qualified chef wasn't exactly what they were looking for. Pastry chef.
How far away are they?
They're far enough to not be able to read it. That's
Yes!
a really good point. All right, well, I guess I'll come down and have a look then. And the drawbridge begins to lower as you all on your horses. And as it clinks down, you can see there's a posse of gunfighters on the other side. And you recognize 2 of the faces from the hanging tree where you saved your friends. And they shout, "It's them! Fire! Fire!" And the guns all begin to fire around you. What do you do?
Take cover.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You all jump behind the carts as the gunfire is flying around you, and Pierre is not quick enough to get off his horse, and he's shot in the gut, and he tumbles down behind the mine cart with you, and you're all there as the bullets ping off the cart and ricochet all around you. Oh, it's not as bad as it looks. I'm not going to run away. I'm not doing that trope.
He's sure, because it looks pretty bad. I mean,
Your
it's like-
intestines are hanging out.
You should seriously run away.
Don't worry, I'll plug it with some cheese.
So some tropes are okay.
Yeah. Not that one, that one. How are we going to get out of this mess? We're pinned down here.
Brakai jumps out from behind the cart and goes to fire his rifle, but before he does, he cops a shot right into his guts, and he folds down, motionless.
Oh, Brakai.
No,
They-
brother.
Just kill yourself?
Why
Florence.
would you do that to yourself?
Well, thanks for coming, guys. That's the end of
Yeah.
Dice Paper Roll.
What do you...
Thandor grabs onto Brakai and pulls him back behind the cart. Oh no, Brakai, what's wrong?
Alan cries over your body, "If only I knew real magic!" And he stuffs cards into the bullet wound.
Alan, you're here.
I've been here all along. I'm one of the 7. Otherwise, it doesn't add up.
Yeah, okay, that
You,
makes sense.
you notice a surprising lack of blood.
Oh, this is I'm surprised at the lack of blood.
Shut up, Alan.
Oh, it's we're pinned down here. There's too much fire. One of us has to go. Give me cover. I need to borrow your horse, Squawk. Pierre jumps up on Squawk's horse and gallops through the wagons as Squawk lifts up and fires his bow and arrow to provide cover.
Snatch provides cover as well. He finds a piece of dynamite behind the overturned cart and lights it and piffs it as far as he can.
Give me a roll to hit. Let's do some D&D stuff.
9.
You throw it and it bounces off the drawbridge and falls into the river and blows up, and there's this huge plume of oily water, and then the whole river sets on fire. Flames licking up.
Meant to do that.
Brakai still lays motionless as Alan jumps up and pulls 2 Dillinger pistols from his stockings and provides cover. Pew, pew, pew.
Flo runs over to Brakai, completely ignoring the fact that he's completely motionless, pulls out his pistols and starts firing ahead straight at all the cloaked people, straight through the fiery abyss thing.
Great. So
Pew, 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 pew.
that's how Western goes. Everyone roll
Pew, pew,
to
pew.
provide cover.
7. Pew, 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 pew.
10.
You make the noise and don't pull the trigger.
Just making the noise and using finger guns.
I've rolled a 2.
Yeah, not doing well.
Yeah.
You don't provide enough cover as Pierre dashes forward on
No,
the
Pierre,
horse.
no!
And the horse,
Exactly. Bleh.
it gallops up into the air, and instead of falling off into the river, it lifts up in a E.T. style horse thing. And Pierre gets riddled with bullets as he gallops over, and he collapses slides off the horse, bloody as he falls on the other side of the drawbridge. But as he does, he lands on the mechanism and it clanks down and the drawbridge falls. I did something at the end. And he dies. Oh, it's the above average 6 now.
It's just more people to avenge.
Yay!
Forward!
So everyone roll some more gunfighting
Pew, pew,
rolls.
pew, pew, pew. 20!
15.
19.
You quickly fell a number of the guards out the front, and the rest retreat into the mine, and the gunfighting stops. The hail of bullets stop, and the river crackles underneath the bridge into the smoky maw of the mine. I guess you walk in.
Let's go in.
Yeah, but in like a posse style. Like, is the drawbridge wide enough to look super fucking cool as we walk across it?
Everyone get
Absolutely.
bow-legged.
Brakai stands up and triumphantly throws his kerchiefs away from his chest, revealing a door of a stove. And then he goes, fuck, didn't time that well. Really hopes that'll be...
Oh, thank God,
sweet
you're alive.
reveal.
You're alive.
Brakai, you're okay.
Sorry, I
Yay.
stole
But you
your
played
guns.
dead, and
It's
Pierre
huge.
just died. You could have helped.
You could have given us all the stove. Why are you keeping
yeah.
a secret?
You're distracting from my friend's sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's complicated.
look, I just didn't think it through.
Good effort, though.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
to avenge him.
Let's avenge more.
I wish I killed the kangaroo. I hate this voice.
Do you reckon I could get away with it again?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. They'll just think you're a zombie or something. I don't know.
As you head into the mine, the clang of people mining in the tunnels beside you fills your ears, and you can see thin, bedraggled people chained one to the other, all chipping away at the walls of black, sort of shimmering coal, I guess.
Are they
That's
singing,
how
are
it
they
works.
singing a working song?
Yes, they are. What does it sound like?
Probably
Work,
us.
work, 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 work. They're chipping, but they're twerking in between. Just one more.
That's the worst image.
This takes so much more of my energy, and I'm so hungry, but worth it. I'm worth it.
What's the leader's name again?
I'm so hungry, and I'm
Bartholomew
chained.
Petroleum.
Shell guy, right?
This manacle is chafing my leg.
Yeah, well, we're here to put a stop to this unnecessary slavery. You can put the pics down and stop twerking because it's a little bit disturbing.
weird.
And you can point the way to Mr. Fucking what's his name?
Bartholomew.
Barnaby
Petroleum.
Shell.
Where is he?
Where is your boss right
He's
now?
in the main chamber of the mine with the rest of his posse. If you shoot our chains free, we could all help you.
I mean, you
Cool,
got...
can do.
I'll point you in the direction, and they twerk in the direction of the
Florence
soft,
is
Stop
shooting
doing
at the
that.
chains.
Stop doing that.
soft slapping sound as they.
Thandor shoots at the chain with a 6.
Flo shoots at the chains as well with an 18.
Oh, my chains! Yeah, you
Better.
shoot the chains off quite easily, and soon a crowd of the miners gathers behind you with shovels and pitchforks, and you all march.
What did you need pitchforks for in a mine?
Makes
Pick-
no sense.
Right.
I don't know, pickaxes. Yes,
pickaxe,
we
right.
shovel the
To
coal
get the
with it.
hay, the fire.
Just falls
It's a
through the
special
thing.
kind of hay coal. Yes.
Right.
It's also all we had. We're farmers, just making do. All right, don't judge me.
Lead us onward,
This way, and
non-judgmentally.
they twerk their way down the corridor.
Well, I guess if that's the local custom and Brakai starts to work on after.
We're all doing it.
We're all twerking our way down the...
It looks awesome in the skin suit.
Yeah. Yes, it really
ass
does.
falls
Yeah.
off.
You've got 4 butts. brilliant.
One cheek drops
I've
to the
only got
ground.
6.
Too forceful.
It's so
Okay.
dark and sweaty in
There's
here.
a-
It's
there's a
like a
whole-
nightclub.
There's a hole where the butt is, and then it's just your butt through that butt. Jesus.
What a tiny butt you have.
Disturbingly cute.
And bloody.
I'm so sad Billy isn't here to see this. He'd dig it the most. Bobby, that one.
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
I'm watching in my dreams.
You head down. Billy Bob got fucked up, man.
He really did.
You march down into the center of the mine. There's a huge cavern with a river of oil running down the center, because that's how that works, and seams of coal in the stone in the walls, and the clean-cut figure of Bartholomew Petroleum stands in the center with his last remaining members of his posse around him. They all hold their guns to their shoulders as you approach, and as you filter into the room, the miners let out a blood-curdling scream and charge forwards. Jesus.
More southern, come on.
Yeah, more dainty,
Less
please.
less seagull.
Charge forwards, and there's a crack of gunfire as a few of the front miners fall.
Brakai keeps trying to run in front of bullets and cop one to the chest.
Roll to run in front of bullets.
Yes.
That's a skill, I believe.
50!
Yes.
Yeah.
You save one of the miners, a lady who looks remarkably familiar for some reason, and you step in front, and your stovetop ricochets a bullet away, which shoots another miner who's less familiar.
Well, that one wasn't familiar, at least, I guess.
And you, everyone charges forwards, assaulting and killing the, just killing, I guess, the posse around Billy Petroleum, who backs up, firing his pistols.
Right at that moment, a tumbleweed comes rolling through, and Thandor picks it up and goes, "This is your moment," and then throws it at BP.
Roll to throw tumbleweed.
It sails very listlessly through the air on a 10.
It floats softly through the air, the smoky, smoggy air of the cave.
Brakai
Blow!
Yeah, can we get an
Go,
assist
everyone.
from the team? Let's get an assist roll.
Brakai seeing the tumbleweed goes, "Not today, tumbleweed!" and jumps to try and tackle the tumbleweed with his chest out at the stove on top.
Okay, roll to assist from you two and roll to tackle from Brakai, please.
12.
10.
11.
Okay, you leap through the air as they blow the tumbleweed forwards, and because of the momentum of the tumbleweed being blown, you just miss it and you dive in front of it. But as you do, Bartholomew Petroleum fires his 2 pistols, and they ricochet off your body armor, and you save the tumbleweed from certain doom.
God damn it, fucking tumbleweed!
As you crash into the ground, the tumbleweed flies forward, and Bartholomew Petroleum screams in terror, "No!" as the tumbleweed catches on his face and lightly scratches him.
Brakai tries to crush the tumbleweed with his foot, which is also...
Great roll to hit.
20!
Yes! You leap forward and crush the tumbleweed with your foot, and just because it's on his face, you also crush Bartholomew Petroleum under Your boot.
Yep. That was a move where both Brakai and I got what we wanted.
And as the tumbleweed crumples, you hear a soft voice on the wind. I had purpose.
Brakai picks up half the skull and goes, "Oh, bring this back for Bobby. Keep saying. Souvenir."
No.
Not my Bobby.
What?
My little Bobby, the NPC that you saved,
That looks strangely familiar.
Dorothy Earp, comes forward. You know, my little Bobby's okay.
He's doing great.
He's so okay.
So good.
So okay. Like,
He's been fine. He did see his daddy, his papa, get shot down in front of him. I thought he might be a little upset
No,
and
he's
disturbed.
fine.
no other horrific things.
Just as innocent as a newborn babe, Dolly.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
does
There's a reward as well, I assume.
Well, we don't have much, but I guess you can take any of the
Another
coal.
train set?
Yeah, that motherfucker said he didn't have a red caboose. I don't believe him.
That was always his favourite.
Yeah, well. Fucking, now he's alive. That must be his favourite too. He's got his mum. Happy days.
I guess I could get him another red caboose.
No, it has to
you
be-
deserve the reward.
I'll only take it if you never get him any trains again.
Well, I guess this may have, he'll have to become the man of the house now that his papa Earp is dead.
Yeah, I think
guess it's time for playing with train sets is over.
Very much over.
He's discovered a new toy
got a
anyway.
couple of new
An
toys.
interest in puppetry.
Yes.
Wow, that sounds very creative.
It is, yeah.
Well,
He's a
thank
very
you
nice
all.
boy.
And the rest of the freed miners destroy the machinery around you, and a breath of clean air circulates around the cavern. And as you come out, you can see the oil stops flowing, and the river runs clear, and half a tumbleweed rolls out beside you as Dorothy Earp runs forward and with a look of horror embraces her blood-covered son, whose foot has an eyeball on it from kicking the skull around. But she still looks up at you as you all walk past. Thank you. How can we ever thank you? Oh, here's the caboose.
Thank you.
Brakai tucks it in strategically.
Your thanks is quite enough. I think we've done enough here.
We have.
Yes, please don't stay around any longer. You've saved us, I guess.
Tell the people what we've done here.
Not all of it, but
Just some of it.
all of it, yeah.
Get
Just
it
the good
out
bits.
there.
maybe editorialise a little bit around some of the...
I don't think my memory will be able to hold on to all the horrible things you've done. I guess.
It's
drop
best
the
just to
horror.
block it off.
Yeah.
Just
bury
push it
deep.
deep,
Yeah.
down
Press it down.
inside.
Is that what y'all do?
All the
All
time.
the time.
Yeah, okay.
It's the Australian way.
And the remaining above average 6 stride off into the sunset. And that's the end of today's game.
Good stuff, Grego. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Look, before we go, we will be downstairs. We've got a bit of merch to sell. We've got some posters that our artist Jack has drawn. So if you want to stick around, say hello. Before we do head off, though, as well, Lauren.
Yes, I should plug.
You should. Lauren Bock, our very special guest, has
Thank you.
her final show tonight.
I've got one more show tonight for my show. It's called Lauren Bock Rock Out with Your Bock Out. And I've got some 2-for-1 little flyers in there. So if you take the flyer to the box office, you get 2-for-1 tickets tonight. I've sold 4 tickets for tonight. If you've got somewhere in your hearts to come down and see my very, very last show, that would be really. That's not indicative of the quality of it. It's very good.
It is awesome. I
It's
saw it
very
the other
good.
and you have been nominated for a Golden Gibbo.
I
Just
did,
missed out.
yes. I got
Yeah.
nominated for a
Big
big
deal.
comedy festival, big deal award. It's so big, it's called the Gibbo. But it is a big, important deal, and it'd be so amazing to go out on a high. So it's like comedy, stand-up, storytelling, burlesque at 7 o'clock on a Sunday. On Easter Sunday, it's the Lord's boobies. That's
It's what
we'll
Jesus
get out of
died
it.
for.
Well, rose again for.
Yeah. It is actually.
He certainly did.
I should say, I mean, because I come out dressed as God, right? It's actually biblically themed. Anyway, so apart from that, it's very funny. You should guys come down 7:10 tonight, just down on the riverside. But I'll give you 2 for 1 if you want to do that. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks for
Awesome.
joining us,
Cheers.
Lauren. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
That's our last show in the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. So check out the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, post about it on social media anyway, because, you know, we just want people to know about what they missed out on. But
Yeah.
thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
See
Give
you
yourselves a round of
downstairs.
applause. Happy Easter.
Thank you.